Hello and welcome back to Kimchi Rednecks. Today we're catching up on the status of our new apartment because, as Matt Pat said, that's what you do in this YouTube life. You monetize your life. We're not monetized though. I ain't making no money off this. Anyway, so as you can see, we have our living room here, which we live in. That's why it's kind of a little... It's the dog's fault. I blame them. But as you can see, if you can see out the window here, the parking is very Korean. It's one of the two things about this apartment we found that we probably should have looked into a little more. It's doable, you can manage it, but you gotta be careful. Basically, there's, as usual, not enough parking spots for the amount of people that live in this area. At least not dedicated to the buildings. So there's a lot of people that wind up parking on the side of the street, and at the end of the workday, there's a rush for parking spots. She doesn't really care as much though, because she's, usually here at the end of the workday. Chucky dog, what you doing?
You're right. Minion really doesn't care about parking.
Yes, Minion does not care about parking. Anyway, so as I said, we got our couches and everything set up. Our center area here is got a lot less stuff in it. So if anybody notices, we've got these pads on the floor. These are not unusual here in Korea. You can buy them. There's really cheap ones that are about like a centimeter or about a ½ inch thick. You can get just at the local dollar store, the Daiso, brain fart, at the Daiso. Or
they're really, really small at the Daiso.
But those are pretty small ones. Or you can get the bigger ones like these that we have in the kitchen and in the mid-floor that we get at E-Mart, right? Yeah. Yeah, E-Mart or ordered online at G-Market. These serve two purposes. One, they help the dogs with these wooden floors so they have something to get traction on, because poor Suki dog, she has problems with walking and across the floor and just losing traction and falling down. It's so sad. So old lady can't walk straight anymore. With these on the ground, the dogs can get a little traction. It adds a little cushion for them to lay on or play on or whatever. And it also helps keep your feet warm, because the floor heating system, if you set it a little low because it's getting warm outside and we don't want to run the heat bill up because we don't need to, the water can still be a little bit cool, so the floor can be a little bit cold.
Well, we're also on the first floor.
We're also on the first floor, which means
hopefully our air conditioning bill will be cheaper.
Which means we have these good old Korean concrete walls. They're apparently really good at holding in cool temperatures.
It'll be fun in the winter.
Because it's getting up into the 80s or so. It's getting in the mid-20 C's in the day around here now, and this concrete wall with brick on the outside is still rather chilly in here. I have a feeling my bones are going to ache in the winter. Anyway, so we walk around here, and we have the food room, the dog's favorite room. We had to find a table online that was high enough for us to use as a prep/dining table, because most Korean tables are about down here. Now, that 6 inches doesn't seem like a whole bunch, but yeah, well, I'll let you think that one out. But this is high enough for us to use as a prep table or whatever without having to stand slouched over, because that's hell on my back. Typical Korean setup here. Actually, this has got a really big sink. This is like the biggest sink I've ever seen in an apartment. Cabinets up here, all that good stuff. We got gas burners again. I was not fond of those electric eyes at our last place. I could deal with them, but if you notice, we did a lot of time cooking on the little stovetop range thing. Back to our gas cookers. All good. We still have the laundry room, which is, well, it's still storage room / disaster area. So we're going to carry on. Now, over here, we didn't really show you before, is the dog's room. Dun dun dun. So it is smaller than it was in the last place, obviously, but we've got their big dog bed, which is basically just a single, was it twin size mattress pad, memory foam thing that we set on the floor for the dogs. They seem to love it, so hey, rock on. As with the last dog room, I'm setting up over here in the corner for my gaming rig for doing my streaming and whatnot. So I'm sure you can probably hear at the moment the atrocious echo that's in this room. So fortunately, my parents, I think for, what was it, for Christmas?
Yeah.
for Christmas asked me what I wanted, and I told him to give me some of this 2-inch sound absorption foam. And I just wanted like a pack or two so I could put some squares up in a room. And apparently my dad decided to see how much it would take to wallpaper a room and send me that much. So I've got quite a bit of this stuff. So I'm going to be putting this up in the corners and on the walls and all that in here, and hopefully kill some of this atrocious sound. So that's it for the doggy room. There's a doggy. Hello, doggy. Hello, shucks, shucks. Old lady dog's following me around. So, oh, it's dark in here. All right, so we got the bedroom set up. We got our stuff. Our bedroom has, here's all the lights. A master closet, which has not, technically we do have closets over here. I think Melissa's got stuff in there. This is our tiny room, and this I find hilarious. Look at this master bath. Isn't it cute? It's so small. I tell you, this little shower thing in here, I don't know who that was designed for, but it was not a full-ass size American.
Wait a minute, our realtor got in that shower.
Yeah, even our little Korean realtor, we brought him over here to show it to him, to ask him if, is there anything we can do about this? Can we?
He would not be very comfortable either.
And even he looked at that and said, I wouldn't want to take a shower in that. It's so small. Basically, I wind up turning in like one spot repeatedly to take a shower because you can't move anywhere without running into either the shower head or the back wall. It's so sad. Anyway, so then we have down our hallway. There's a restroom at the end. Nobody wants to see that. But we have gotten some work done in the office here. So, as you can see, if nothing else, I've gotten our computers hooked back up. We haven't quite got the internet sorted out right. I need to see if I can get, how do I explain this? So most Korean apartments will have a junction box at the front of the apartment, and then each of the individual rooms will have a wire run to, let me see, like a wall outlet like this. And that wall outlet, you can set up a switch in a room, or you can plug into it and have it all done together in the junction box. The problem is, at some point, they brought in a fiber modem, or at least the landlord had fiber internet brought in, which is good because I've got my same 500 gigabit connection I had at my old apartment. But instead of wiring that into the box at the front, they brought the modem directly into the main living room and just set the modem up, which now none of the other rooms can connect to it. So once we get some more of our stuff sorted out here, we're going to get with the realtor and the internet people and see if we can get the rooms that I have computers in wired together to the port in the front, so I can just wire that port in the front into our modem and get internet in all the rooms that need it. That's probably way more confusing than anybody wanted to listen to me yammer on about. So our desks are set back up. We at least have Wi-Fi. We can pick up the router so we can work on our internet stuff. Melissa does her volunteering with South of Seoul and manages some Facebook pages and stuff, so that's good for her. Here is probably the biggest change so far. Our storage room / guest room, you can actually walk into it now. Obviously there's still a pile of stuff, no big surprise, but the bed is actually on the floor. We had it standing up. All of the stuff is generally kind of organized together. There's, my lights and my holes for my green screen and my extra computer stuff, car stuff in the back because, well, let's be honest, it's going to be a while before I get to that. And just other stuff hanging around. So that's pretty much how far we've gotten. So that's got us to where we're at present, I think. Oh, excuse me while I trip over my floor mat. Would you like to say anything to our lovely viewers?
I'm tired.
She's tired. She's been doing most of the house stuff.
It's exhausting trying to find everything, and I think I just found my glasses yesterday. I've been searching for them for a week and a half. Yeah, just found my glasses.
So I have an actual job I have to go do, so she's been doing most of the the home
And
stuff
dealing
and
with dogs who don't know where they are.
oh yeah, the dogs have been slightly cantankerous.
Yeah, so they've worn me out. But I'm glad to have my stuff set back up because I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, so happy that you were offline for like 2 weeks as we moved, and I had to get
2 weeks, and then I got a new phone on top of that, and had to transfer Samsung to iPhone, and that is just so
yeah.
much fun.
I don't like iPhones. We went to iPhones mainly because it helps her with work because the apps work better on iOS than the Android ones
Also, I
do,
can stay in touch better with my family.
and it helps her stay in touch. And there's a couple of Unreal apps that work with the iPhone that you can do, which I'm going to be working with. I'm working on some Unreal stuff. I'm going to learn a little bit. I'm going to see if I can start making little animated movie clips or whatnot on my computer. That'll come around eventually in the future. I've got one made. It's a training tutorial, but I got one made. Now I'm trying to upscale it and do mo better. So when I get that figured out, I'll post that for you. But so that's us. That's where we're at. Like, subscribe, do the internet stuff. We'll see y'all around.